Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kante Radha Kante Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gorangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। हरे कृष्णा जय।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, looks like everybody seems to be busy. शुरू करते हैं अपन। तो लास्ट वीक हम लोग 24th अध्याय से शुरू करें
जी।
एंड उसके पहले we saw between Bali Maharaj and Vaman Dev, and that was the pravachan of Vaman Avatar is what Sukdev Goswami ji was reciting to Parikshit Maharaj. And then Parikshit Maharaj is asking about Matsya Avatar, and he wants to know more about the Matsya Avatar, and that has happened twice, as we were reading. Once it happened in Shambhu Manu's Manuvantar, and then it again happened in Chakshush Manuvantar, which is the 6th Manuvantar, right? And in the 6th Manuvantar, it happened with Satyavrat Maharaj, right? And between the Lord Vishnu, there is a conversation, and how the Matsya Avatar happened is what is described. Yeah. So what we are reading right now is the 6th Manuvantar, Chakshush Manu. In that duration, in the avatar of Lord Vishnu, as a Matsya Avatar happened. And why did that happen and how it happened is what we are reading. Yeah. So we'll actually start with Shlok 31st. Ajay.
Shri Shuk Uach Iti Brudavam Nipanti Jagatpati Satyavratam Matsya Vapuryu Vihartu Kama Pralayarna Ve Abravi Kishurikant Janpriya Priyam. Sukdev Goswami said, when King Satyavrat spoke in this way, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who at the end of the Yuga has assumed the form of a fish to benefit his devotees and enjoy his pastimes in the water of inundation, responded as follows. Hare Krishna. Sir, आपका वो muted.
Oh, Ajay, sorry. Yeah. So what we were reading was how Satyavrat Maharaj was talking to Lord Vishnu, and then Lord Vishnu is now responding to Satyavrat Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Nisha.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We are reading about the Matsya Avatar. One Matsya Avatar which happened in Shambhu Manu's duration. The other one happened during Chakshush Manu. And we are reading about the Chakshush Manu, how the Matsya Avatar happened. And there is a conversation between Satyavrat Maharaj and Lord Vishnu himself. Lord Vishnu is now responding. So let's read that shlok, Nisha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Saptame hi adhyat nadurdhva nardurdhvam hanet daridam nimangakshatya pyayambodau trilokyam bhurbhuvadikam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O King, who can subdue your enemies on the seventh day from today, the three words Bhu, Bhuvaha, and Swaha will all merge into the water of inundation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What Lord Vishnu is telling Satyavrat Maharaj is just on the seventh day from now. Trilokyam bhur bhuva vadikam. All those will merge into water. Is what Lord Vishnu is telling Satyavrat Maharaj. Trilokyam liyamanayam samvata bhashitve tada upasya stayasatino kachit vishala tvam mayerita. When all the three worlds merge into water, a large boat sent by me will appear before you. Yeah, this is what Lord Vishnu is saying right now. A large boat sent by me is the Lord Vishnu, will appear before you. You is the Satyavrat Maharaj. Yeah? Ajay?
Twam tav doshadhi sarva bijanyu cha vachani cha saptarshibhi parivritah sarva satvopabhrihantih aruhya brihati navam vicharishya स्य विक्लवः एकार्णवे निरालोके ऋषीणामेव वर्चसा. Thereafter, O king, you shall collect all types of herbs and seeds and load them on that great boat. Then, accompanied by seven rishis and surrounded by all kinds of living entities, you shall get aboard that boat, and without morsenness, you shall easily travel with your companions on the ocean of inundation, the only illumination being the effulgence of great rishis. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what Lord Vishnu is saying is, when the all Om Bhur Bhuvas were all subdued in water, and at that time a boat will appear, and he's telling Satyavrat Maharaj to get onto that boat with the Saptarishis, seven rishis. Nisha?
Doduyamana tam navam samirena baliyasa upasthitasya me shringe nibandihi mahahina. Then, as the boat is tossed about the powerful winds, attach the vessel to my horn by means of the great serpent Vasuki, for I shall be present by your side. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Aham tvam rishibhihi sadha senavamuddhamvati vikarshana vicharishyami yavat brahmi nisha prabhu. Pulling the boat with you and all the rishis in it, O king, I shall travel in the water of devastation until the night of Lord Brahma's slumber is over. Okay, so till Brahmi Nisha Prabhu, right? Till Lord Brahma's night or the duration when he's sleeping, till that is over, Lord Vishnu along with the Saptarishis and the King Satyavrat will travel in the water of devastation, like he will carry it on, is what Lord Vishnu is mentioning. Ajay?
Madiyam mahimanam cha param brahmoti shabditam vetasya nugrihitam me samapta prashray vivritam radhi. You will be thoroughly advised and favored by me, and because of your inquiries, everything about my glories, which are known as Param Brahm, will be manifest within your heart. Thus you will know everything about me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And the Lord Vishnu is telling him that time, Satyavata Maharaj, that when all that happens, that's when you will be asking me about Lord Vishnu himself, right? And then Lord Vishnu will explain, and at that time he's saying, what will happen is Param Brahma will be manifest within your heart. Yeah, and that will be the self-realization for Satyavata Maharaj. Actually, a nice purpose. So let's read this. Nisha.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Sarvasya chaham radhisannivishto matah smritir jnanam apohanam cha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paramatma, is situated in everyone's heart, and from him come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. The Lord reveals himself in proportion to one's surrender to him. Ye yathaha mama prapadyante tamas tatvaiva bhajame aham. In responsive cooperation, the Lord reveals himself in proportion of one's surrender. That which is revealed to one who fully surrenders is different from what is revealed to one who surrenders partially. Everyone naturally surrenders to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, either directly or indirectly. The conditioned soul surrenders to the laws of nature in material existence, but when one fully surrenders to the Lord, material nature does not act upon him. Such a fully surrendered soul is favored by Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. Mama eva ye prapadyante mayam etam taranti te. One who has fully surrendered to the Lord has no fear of the modes of material nature, for everything is but an expansion of the Lord's glories. Sarvam Kalva Idam Brahma, and these glories are gradually revealed and realized. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And the important part which is mentioned here is that the Lord reveals himself in proportion to one's surrender to him. So how much we know about the Lord depends on how much we are surrendering. And surrendering means how much devotional services we are executing, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Ishmaranam, right? All that different types of bhakti, how much we are doing. Hare Krishna, Leelaji.
Hare Krishna, Via. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Everything good?
Yes, just going. The Lord is the supreme purifier. Param Brahma, Param Dham, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. The more one is purified and the more he wants to know about the Supreme, the more the Lord reveals to him. Full knowledge of Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan is revealed to the pure devotees. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 10.11, Tesam evanukam partham aham agyanagyam tamha nasayami atma bhavastho Gyanar Deepen Bhavasvata. Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Actually, and this is what Lord Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. Right? In Bhagavad Gita, we are seeing that, and there's a slok 10.10, if you remember. In 10.10, what Lord Krishna is saying is, if somebody has surrendered, he give him the knowledge, the Dami Buddhi Yoga. He will give him the knowledge so that they can come back to Goloka Dham. And then right after that, this is the next slok where Lord Krishna is saying that, how does he do that, right? Out of compassion for them, I, dwelling in their hearts, yeah, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Yeah, aham ajnana jam tama nashami atma bhavasto. Yeah, jnana deepen bhasvate. Yeah, jnana deepen, the shining lamp of knowledge. Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna, Gajan. Hare Krishna, everyone. Idham adhisya rajanam harir antaradhyatyata adhishyata. So nivyakshata tam kalam yam rishikesha adhisat. After this instructing the king, the Supreme Personality of Godhead immediately disappeared. Then King Satyavrata began to wait for that time of which the Lord had instructed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so there is the conversation between Lord Vishnu and King Satyavrat. This is happening in the 6th Manvantara during Chakshush Manu's duration. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Shri Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Astarya Darbhan Prakulan Rajarshiha Pragud Damukham Nishad Hare Vadav Chintayan Matsya Rupina. After spreading Kusha with its tips pointing east, the saintly king himself facing the northeast sat down on the grass and began to meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who had assumed the form of a fish. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Matsya Rupina had assumed the form of fish. Ajay.
ततः समुद्र उद्वेलः सर्वतः प्लावयन् महीम् वर्धमानो महामेघैर्वर्षिद्भिः समदृश्यत्. Thereafter gigantic clouds pouring incessant water swelled the ocean more and more. Thus the ocean began to overflow onto the land and inundate the entire world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Lord Vishnu had told him, like after the 7 days, the Bhur, Bhuva, and all planets will be filled with water. Nisha?
ध्यायन् भगवदादेशं ददृशे नावमागतां तामारुरोह विपेन्द्रे राधायो शधिविरुथः. As Satyavrat remembered the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he saw a boat coming near him. Thus he collected herbs and creepers, and accompanied by saintly Brahmins, he got aboard the boat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Dhyayan Bhagavada Adesham. If you remember, Lord Vishnu had told him what's going to happen. Reena ji?
तमोचुर्मनयः प्रीता राजन् ध्यायस्व केशवं स वै नः सङ्कटादस्मादविता शं विधास्यति. The saintly Brahmins, being pleased with the king, said to him, O king, please meditate upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Keshava. He will save us from this impending danger and arrange for our well-being. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The Brahmins, Dhyayashva Keshavam. Yeah, Keshav or Krishna, Sankatad Asma Davita Sham Vidyashati. And he is going to save from the danger. What was the danger? The whole world was filling up with the water. Right? Tarun?
सोऽनुद्य यसत् तथो राज्ञा प्रादुरासींहरण्वे एक क्षणगद्धरो मत्स्यो हेमो नियुक्तयोजनः. Then, while the king constantly meditated upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a large golden fish appeared in the ocean of inundation. The fish had one horn and was 8 million miles long. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Have you seen a fish which is 8 million miles long? That's the fish which appeared there. And Lord Vishnu had already informed Satyavrat Maharaj that he is going to then appear when the water is filling in. Yeah, Shri Prabhu.
Nibadhya navam tachitride yatho vakto harina pura vartrenahina tusht tustav madhusudanam. Following the instruction formally given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the king anchored the boat to the fish's horn, using the serpent Vasuki as a rope. Thus, being satisfied, he began offering prayers to the Lord. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, as you know, Lord Vishnu, right? He had told him like a big boat will appear, then he'll come as a fish, and then tie the boat to his horn with the serpent Vasuki as a rope. Yeah. And then Satyavrat Maharaj started offering prayers to the Lord, to the Madhusudan.
So, Prabhuji, the boat just appeared, like it was not made by...
Yeah. Lord Vishnu had already told Satyavrat Maharaj that after 7 days, when the ocean water starts flowing in, right, a boat will appear. And then he told him to get onto that boat with the Brahmins. Yeah, and then tie that boat with the fish's horn, because the fish will appear, and tie it with the Vasuki, the serpent. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way one could make the boat.
It's very similar to Noah's Ark, right?
What's that? Sorry.
This is very similar to Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark. This is the...
Oh, Noah's Ark. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, so, but before that, there's a whole story, right, where Satyavrat Maharaj was told by Lord Vishnu that this is what is going to happen 7 days, and so this is what you need to do, right? So then he saw in the fish avatar, we just saw that 8 million miles long fish, right, just appeared, and that is none other than Lord Vishnu himself, right? And Satyavrat Maharaj realizes that, and then he starts glorifying Satyavrat and Lord Vishnu. Yeah. Sri Raju Vache Anadhya Vidyopaitatma Samvida Istan Mool Sansar Parishamaturah Yadrichayo Pushitayamapuyu Vir Mukti Do Nah Paramo Guru Bhavam. So the king said, by the grace of the Lord, those who have lost their self-knowledge since time immemorial, and who, because of this ignorance, are involved in a material conditional life full of miseries, obtain the chance to meet the Lord's devotee. I accept that Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Supreme Spiritual Master. So what Satyavrat Maharaj is saying is that, he's talking about all the conditioned soul, right? Like people like us, Sansara Parishama Aturaha. Yeah, what happens is, we lose our self-knowledge. And what is the self-knowledge? The self-knowledge is, we are not this body, right? We are the soul. And to realize that, but we lose that because we are so much ignorant, we are so much involved in the material world, conditional life full of miseries that we don't understand the self-knowledge, we lose it. And then what they are saying is to regain that, obtain the chance to meet the Lord's devotee. And that is the kind of Lord I accept that Supreme Personality of Godhead as the Supreme Spiritual Master, is what Satyavrat Maharaj is mentioning. Yeah. Can a nice purport. So let's read that, Ajay.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually the Supreme Spiritual Master. The Supreme Lord knows everything about the suffering of conditioned soul, and therefore he appears in the material world sometimes personally, sometimes by an incarnation, and sometimes by authorizing a living being to act on his behalf. In all cases, however, he is the original spiritual master who enlightens the conditioned soul who are suffering in the material world. The Lord is always busy helping the conditioned souls in many ways. Therefore, he is addressed here as Paramo Gurur Bhavan, the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who acts to spread Krishna consciousness, is also guided by the Supreme Lord to act properly in executing the Lord's order. Such a person may appear to be an ordinary human being, but because he acts on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Spiritual Master, he is not to be neglected as ordinary. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Sachin.
Hare Krishna. It is therefore said, Acharyam Mama Vijanyat. An Acharya who acts on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead should be understood to be as good as the Supreme Lord himself. Sakshad Dharitvena Samasta Shastrair Uktas Tatha Bhavyata Eva Sadbhi Kintu Prabho Yah Vya Eva Tasya Vande Guru Shri Charana Ravindam. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has advised that the spiritual master acting on the Supreme Lord's behalf must be worshipped as being as good as the Supreme Lord. For he is the Lord's most confidential servant in broadcasting the Lord's message for the benefit of the conditioned souls involved in the material world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha.
जनो बुधोऽयं निजकर्मबन्धनः सुखेश्चया कर्म समीहते सुखं यत्सेवया तां विधुनोत्यसन्मतिं ग्रन्थिं स विन्द्याद् स नो गुरुः. In hopes of becoming happy in this material world, the foolish conditioned soul performs fruitive activities that result only in suffering. But by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from such false desires for happiness. May by Supreme Spiritual Master cut the knot of false desires from the core of my heart. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is saying this? Who is speaking right now? King Satyavrat, right? As the fish appears, what Vishnu's avatar, Matsya avatar, right, is what we are reading right now about. Matsya avatar appears, and this is what Satyavrat Maharaj realizes. So Satyavrat Maharaj is glorifying Lord Vishnu, right, in the fish incarnation, because he had already known about that. And then what he's saying, how is he glorifying? He's saying that, say, Jano Buddho Ayam Nij Karma Bandhana. Like we are the conditioned souls, right? We are the foolish conditioned souls. And we perform fruitive activities. We do all this karma bandhana hai. Because we are constantly engaged in karmas. We are bandhan into that karma. So we are getting the results of those karmas, right? And which is resulting in all the suffering. Even though sukhechaya karma samihite asukam, right? It's resulting only in suffering. So what happens though, however, by rendering service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one becomes free from those false desires, and the spiritual master, supreme spiritual master, cuts the knot of false desires from the core of my heart. Is what Hridayam Seno Guru, is what Satyavat Maharaj is glorifying Lord Vishnu. Yeah. It's for material happiness, the conditioned soul involves himself in fruitive activities, right? Which actually put him into material distress. Because the conditioned soul does not know this, he is said to be in avidya or ignorance. Because of a false hope for happiness, the conditioned soul becomes involved in various plans for material activity. Here Maharaj Satyavrat prays that the Lord sever this hard knot of false happiness and thus become his supreme spiritual master. Is what Satyavrat Maharaj is glorifying Lord Vishnu. Hare Krishna, Prem sir.
Hare Krishna. Yat seva near nagir iva urrudra rodanam puman vijahan malam atmana stama vajit varnam nijam mesh soveo bhuyat sa isha parmo guru. One who wants to be free of material entanglement should take to the service of Supreme Personality of Godhead and give up the contamination of ignorance, involving pious and impious activities. Thus, one regains his original identity, just as a block of gold or silver sheds all dirt and becomes purified when treated with fire. May that inexhaustible Supreme Personality of Godhead become our spiritual master, for he is the original spiritual master of all the other spiritual masters. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, he says, Isha hai parmo guru. Yeah, spiritual master of all the spiritual masters. And, Satyavat Maharaj is requesting that may that Supreme Personality of Godhead become our spiritual master. Tarun?
In human life, one is meant to undergo austerity to purify one's existence. Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam sudhyat. Because of contamination by the modes of material nature, one continues in the cycle of birth and death. Karnam guna sango syat sad asad yoni janmasu. Therefore, the purpose of human life is to purify oneself of this contamination so that one can regain his spiritual form and not undergo this cycle of birth and death. The recommended process of decontamination is devotional service to the Lord. There are various processes for self-realization, such as karma, jnana, and yoga, but none of them is equal to the process of devotional service. As gold and silver can be freed from all dirty contamination by being put into a fire, but not merely by being washed, the living entity can be awakened to his own identity by performing devotional service, yat seva, yeah, but not by karma, jnana, or yoga. Cultivation of speculative knowledge or practice of yogic gymnastics will not be helpful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So what is being mentioned is, first of all, we have read this, right? The purpose of the human life. We all have got this human body, right? The human life. And what is the purpose of that human life? Is to really purify oneself. Purify oneself, right? The soul, right? Purify that of what? Of the contamination, this materialistic contamination which we are in, so that we have forgotten ourselves, the true self, right? But that is the purpose. And then why we need to do that? So that we can regain our spiritual form. Because currently we have a temporary form, right? And there is no argument about that. We all know that we all have a temporary form. This body is temporary, right? And that we know, all of us know that we go through this cycle of birth and death again and again and again. How do you get out of this birth and death cycle? How do we purify oneself, right? And that process is recommended here. The recommended process of decontamination is the devotional service to the Lord, right? And that's what we have read, like Bhakti Yoga. And how do we do the devotional service? Right? Surrendering to Lord Sri Krishna is like doing the devotional service. And how do we do that? What are the 9 different ways?
Shravanam,
Shravanam, Kirtanam,
Right. Shravanam, Kirtanam,
Archanam, Patsanam,
Adhisevam, Sakhyam,
Dashyam.
Satyam, Dashyam, yeah, Vishnu Smaranam, right? So those are 9 different ways. We have seen different examples of those. A way to do devotional service, like reading Srimad Bhagavatam is also Kirtanam, right? We are doing also Shravanam with this. Doing chanting, which we start with Swami Srila Prabhupada's voice himself, right? Is chanting, like doing Kirtan. Those are all the processes which are slowly and slowly helping us to purify oneself. It takes long time, right? Because we have been like so many probably births and deaths we don't even know. And so at some point, this devotional service will help. And that's what is mentioned here as well, right? So we'll continue to read, Sachin.
The word Varnam refers to the luster of one's original identity. The original luster of gold or silver is brilliant. Similarly, the original luster of living being who is part of the Satchidananda Vigraha is the luster of Anand or pleasure. Anandamayo Vyasat. Every living entity has the right to become Anandmay, joyful because he is part of the Satchidananda Vigraha, Krishna. Why should the living being be put into tribulation because of dirty contamination by the material modes of nature? The living entity should become purified and regain its Swarupa, his original identity. This he can do only by devotional service. Therefore, one should adopt the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is described here as Gurur Guru, spiritual master of all other spiritual masters. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's mentioned again, this should become purified and regain his Swarup. That is the original identity. The original identity is Sat Chit Anand, constantly in pleasure with the spiritual body, right? And this he can do by devotional service. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Rasiksha Babuji.
Hare Krishna. Even though we may not have the fortune to contact the Supreme Personality, the Supreme Lord personally, the Lord representative is as good as the Lord himself, because such a representative does not say anything unless it is spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore gives a definition of Guru. यारे देखे तारे कहे कृष्ण या उपदेश. The bona fide Guru is he who advised the disciples exactly in accordance with the principles spoken by Krishna. The bona fide Guru is he who has accepted Krishna as Guru. This is the Guru Parampara system. The original Guru is Vyasdev, because he is the speaker of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, wherein everything is spoken related to Krishna. Therefore, Guru Puja is known as Vyas Puja. In the final analysis, the original Guru is Krishna. His disciple is Narad, whose disciple is Vyasdev, and in this way, we gradually come in touch with the Guru Parampara. One cannot become Guru if he does not know what the personality of Godhead Krishna or his incarnation wants. The mission of the Guru is the mission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So, few important things mentioned here is what is the definition of a Guru? Right? The definition of a Guru is, he does not speak anything unless it's spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Like there is no this is not a philosophy like somebody with intellectual coming out with his own idea of what Bhagavad Gita is, why is Krishna behaving like that. You'll hear so many people giving their own commentaries. That is not the real thing, right? That is not through the proper Guru Parampara system. That, right? It has to be the bona fide Guru is who has accepted Krishna as a Guru. Exactly what Lord Krishna is saying, like in Bhagavad Gita, for example, or Srimad Bhagavatam, because Vyasdev Ji, yeah. And why is it so? Because Vyasdev Ji himself, on the Guru Puja we do is also known as the Vyas Puja, it says, right? And who is Vyasdev? Yeah. Vyasdev Ji was told about Srimad Bhagavatam and Purans and Vedas by none other than Narad Muni. Yeah. And Narad Muni is son of whom? Whose son is Narad Muni?
Brahmaji?
Brahmaji, right? Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma told it to Narad Muni, and Lord Krishna told it to Lord Brahma. Then Lord Brahma gave it to Narad Muni. The knowledge, then Narad Muni gave it to Ved Vyas Ji. And then Ved Vyas Ji gave it to whom? Who is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam right now? To Parikshit Maharaj?
Sukhdev Goswami.
Sukhdev Goswami Ji, right? Because Sukhdev Goswami Ji is none other than son of Ved Vyas Ji, right? He is the highest level of brahmachari and still a great devotional devotee, right? And Vyas Devji gave the so that is how the Guru Parampara, and that's what we are reading directly. So that's what he's saying, right? That's how we are connected with the Guru Parampara. It's 10:30 right now. Everyone wants to stay 15 more minutes? Then we can complete this adhyay. If you have 15 more minutes, otherwise it's okay if we can do it next time. But is everyone okay with that? 15 minutes? Yeah. We have up to 61 shloks, so I think we'll complete that. Also, I'm traveling for next 2 days because if you can complete it today, then we can take next 2 days break. Yeah. So we'll just read 15 more minutes, not more than 15, it's just 10 more shloks. We'll read that, yeah, and complete. And this will also complete our eighth scan. So we'll complete our 8th adhyay, yeah. So let's just get through this. Let's read the shlok 49. Rinaji.
न यत् प्रसादायुत भागलेश मन्ये च देवा गुरुवो जनाम स्वयं कर्तुं समेता प्रभवन्ति पुंसं स्तमीश्वरं त्वं शरणं प्रपद्ये. Neither all the demigods, nor the so-called gurus, nor all other people, either independently or together, can offer mercy that equals even 1/10,000 of yours. Therefore, I wish to take shelter of your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What? And this is being mentioned by Satyavrat Maharaj. He is glorifying Lord Vishnu, who has appeared as a Matsya avatar, right? What he's saying is, even 1/10,000 of your knowledge, right? Says Bhagalesh, right? Yat Prasada Yut Bhagalesh. Not even like 10,000. What is that? 10,000? Including everyone. Manne Deva, all Devatas, including all the other gurus, Swayam, yeah. Kartu Sameta Prabhavanti Punsa is the Lord Krishna. And they are not even equal to the 1/10,000 of your knowledge, right? And he's saying, Stamishwaram Tvam Sharanam Prapade. So I take shelter of your lotus feet, is what Satyavrat Maharaj is praying as. Yeah. And of course, we know in Bhagavad Gita, Lord himself mentioned, right, that Sarva Dharman Paritajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshiyeshami Ma Sucha. Right? Arjun, Lord Krishna is telling this to Arjun, right? Shlok 18.66. Abandon all varieties of religion. And religion doesn't mean here Hindu, Muslim, and all that. Religion means like the way he's doing the karma, the way of living, right? The conditioned souls, the way how we are attached to the materialistic world. Lord Krishna is saying, you abandon all those variety of religions, right? And just surrender unto me. Surrender unto me means, we have read this through the devotional service, those 9 different ways. Mam ekam, yeah, only ekam, mam ekam, sharanam braja. Surrender unto me. And if you do that, what Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna is, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Yeah, and when that happens, Mokshi Yashami Mahasuchayat, right? And then he can go back to Godhead, is what Lord Krishna himself had been mentioning. Shiv Prabhu? Shiv Prabhu? Ajay?
Akchakshur nadhanasya यथाग्रणी इस्तथा जनस्य विदुषो अबुधो गुरुः त्वमर्क दृक् सर्वदशा समीक्षणो वृतो गुरुर्न स्वगति बुभुत्स्ताम्. As a blind man, being unable to see, accepts another blind man as his leader, people who do not know the goal of the life accept someone as a guru who is a rascal and a fool. But we are interested in self-realization. Therefore, we accept you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as our spiritual master. For you are able to see in all directions and are omniscient like the sun. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. You are able to see all directions. Sarva Drisham Samikshana. Yeah. And again, a nice purport. So let's read that quickly. Tarun?
The conditioned soul, being wrapped in ignorance and therefore not knowing the goal of life, accepts a guru who can juggle words and make some display of magic that is wonderful to a fool. Sometimes a foolish person accepts someone as a guru because he can manufacture a small quantity of gold by mystic yogic power. Because such a disciple has a poor fund of knowledge, he cannot judge whether the manufacture of gold is the criterion for a guru. Why should one not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, from whom unlimited numbers of gold mines come into being? Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate. All the gold mines are created by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, why should one accept a magician who can manufacture only a small portion of gold? Such gurus are accepted by those who are blind, not knowing the goal of life. Maharaj Satyavrata, however, knew the goal of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? And the goal of life is to go back to Godhead and not just some magic materialistic achievements, right? Is what is mentioned here. Prem sir?
He knew the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he accepted the Lord as his guru. Either the Supreme Lord or his representative can become guru. The Lord says, Mam eva ye prabatyante mayam itam taranti te. One can get relief from the clutches of Maya as soon as he surrenders unto me. Therefore, it is the Guru's business to instruct his disciple to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if he wants relief from the material clutches. This is a symptom of the Guru. This same principle was instructed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Yare Dekha, Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesha. In other words, one is advised not to accept a Guru who does not follow the path of instruction given by Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anisha?
जनो जनस्यादिशते असतिं गतिं यया प्रपद्येत दुरत्ययं तमः त्वं त्वयं ज्ञानं मोघं मज्जसा प्रपद्यते येन जनो निजं पदम्. A materialistic so-called guru instructs his materialistic disciples about economic development and sense gratification, and because of such instruction, the foolish disciples continue in the materialistic existence of ignorance. But your lordship gives knowledge that is eternal, and the intelligent person receiving such knowledge is quickly situated in his original constitutional position. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so this is how Mara Satyavrat continues to glorify Lord Vishnu. Right? Prasiksham Rauri? Mute pen.
Tam Swargalokasya Sohrid Priyaswaro Hridayatma Gururgyan Abhishta Siddhihi Tathapi Lokana Bhavantamandhatihi Tadihi Janarti Santa Hirdi Vriddha Kamaha. My Lord, you are the supreme well-wishing friend of everyone, the dearmost friend, the controller, the super soul, the supreme instructor, and the giver of supreme knowledge and the fulfillment of all desires. But although you are within the heart, the foolish, because of lusty desire in the heart, cannot understand you. Hare
Hare Krishna. So Satyavrat Maharaj is continuing to glorify Lord Vishnu in the Matsya avatar. Right? He's telling him Sarva Lokasya Surya Priyashwaro, right? He's well-wishing friend of everyone. You are the dearmost friend, the controller, you are the super soul, right? And this is how he continues to glorify. But because we are conditioned souls, we have all these desires in our heart, we are not able to understand the Lord is what is mentioned. Yeah. And again, like it says here again, even though one may come to the platform of Brahma Bhut and understand his spiritual identity by speculative knowledge, one cannot enjoy spiritual life without understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is indicated here by the word Abhishaka Siddhi. One can fulfill the ultimate goal of life only by engaging in devotional service to the Lord. Then the Lord will give one proper instructions on how to go back to Godhead. Right? So self-realization, but with the devotional service is what is important is mentioned here. Yes, Sachin?
त्वामहं देववरं वरेण्यं प्रपद्य ईशं प्रतिबोधनाय चिन्त्यर्थ दीपै भगवान् वचोभिर्ग्रन्थिं हृदयान् विवृण स्वमुखः. O Supreme Lord, for self-realization, I surrender unto you, who are worshipped by the demigods as the supreme controller of everything. By your instructions exposing life's purpose, kindly cut the knot from the core of my heart and let me know the destination of my life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And Satyavama is saying, Tvamaham Devavaram Varenyam, like you are worshipped by demigods and by everyone, and is requesting to give the knowledge to Lord Vishnu. Yeah. Nisha?
श्रीशुकोवाच इत्युक्तवन्तनृपन्तीं भगवानदिपुरुषः मत्स्यरूपी महाभूतौ विहरन्तस्त्वं ब्रवीत्. Sukadeva Goswami continued, when Satyavrat had thus prayed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had assumed the form of a fish, the Lord, while moving in the water inundation, explained to him the absolute truth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So when Satyavrat Maharaj is speaking, then Lord Vishnu explained the truth to Satyavrat Maharaj. Prem?
Puran Sanhita Divyam Shankhi Yog Krityavantam Satyavatasya Rajeshwar Atma Gunyam Asita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead thus explained to King Satyavat the spiritual science known as Shankhi Yoga, the science by which one distinguishes between matter and spirit, in other words, Bhakti Yoga, along with the instructions contained in the Puranas, the old histories, and the Samhitas. The Lord explained himself in all these literatures. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So in the Matsya avatar to King Satyavrat, right, at that time, again, Lord revived everything. He explained all the Puran, right? Puran Sahitam and the Sankhya Yoga everything was explained to Satyavrata, and that's what reappeared. Okay, right? Ajay?
अश्रो श्री दृश्यभ्यः साकमात्ममथ त्वमस् संशयम् नाव्यासीनो भगवता प्रोक्तम ब्रह्म सनातनम. While sitting in the boat, King Satyavrata, accompanied by great saintly persons, listened to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in regard of self-realization. The instructions were all from the eternal Vedic literature, Brahma. Thus the king and sages had no doubt about the absolute truth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Proktam Brahma Sanatanam, right? So absolute truth was provided by Lord Krishna himself. Nisha?
अतीत प्रलयापाय उत्थिताय सवेधसे हत्वा सुरम हयग्रीवम वेदान प्रत्याहरधरिय. At the end of the last indentation, during the period of Shambhu Manu, the Supreme Personality of God had killed the demon named Hayagriva and delivered all the Vedic literatures to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleeping. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So as we know, Matsya avatar appeared in two Manu Antars. First in Shambhu Manu, right? At that time in a Hayagriva demon, we know that he stole the Vedic literatures from Lord Brahma, and then Lord himself also appeared as Hayagriva and then killed the demon Hayagriva to deliver all the Vedic literatures at that time, right? Is what is being mentioned again. Rasiksha Prabhuji?
स तो सत्यव्रतो राजा ज्ञान विज्ञान संयुतः विष्णु प्रसादात् कल्पेऽस्मिन्नासीत् वैवस्वतो मनुः. King Satyavrata was illuminated with all the Vedic knowledge by the mercy of the Lord Vishnu. And in this period, he has now taken birth as Vaivasvat Manu, the son of Sun God.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so we know that we were reading about the Chakshish Manu Matsya avatar, how Satyavrat Maharaj was given all this knowledge by Lord Vishnu himself in the form of Matsya avatar. And now in the seventh Manu Antar, right, which is the Vaivasvat Manu, right? Vaivasvato Manu, he appeared as son of the sun god himself, and of course Vishnu Prasadat. So he is the seventh Manu. As you know, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives his verdict that Satyavrat appeared in the Chakshush Manu Antar. When the Chakshush Manu Antar ended, the period of Vaivasvat Manu began. By the grace of Lord Vishnu, Satyavrat received instructions from the second fish incarnation and was thus enlightened in all spiritual knowledge. Yeah. Sachin?
सत्यव्रतस्य राजेर्षे मायात्मस्य शाङ्गृणः संवादं महदाख्यानं श्रुत्वा मुच्येत किल्बिषात्. This story concerning the great King Satyavrata and the fish incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is a great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reactions of sinful life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Again, we've been reading in Srimad Bhagavatam, like all this incarnation of Lord Vishnu himself, and reading all those stories, right? The Srutva Muchet Kil Vishat is delivered from the reactions of sinful life. And as we have read, as you surrender to more and more devotional service, slowly and slowly, soul gets purifying, right? That purification process begins. Essentially, that's what is being mentioned here. Tarun?
Avtaram Hare Yo Yam Kirtaye Anvaham Naraha Sankalpasya Tasya Siddhyanti sa yati paramam gatim. One who narrates this description of the Matsya incarnation and King Satyavrata will certainly have all his ambitions fulfilled and will undoubtedly return home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, yati parama gatim is what Sukdev Goswami is telling to Parikshit Maharaj. Prem sir.
Pralay prayasi dhatu suk shakte murkheshbhya shruti ganam panitam pratyupadat hatva diti chamak yath yo brahm satyavratanam tam ham khil hetu jimin natosmi Savai mana Krishna Padar Vindyo Sarvas Chasi Vaikunt Guna Nurvane Karo Hare Mardir Marjanadishu Shrutim Chakar Yut Saktvayathe. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who pretended to be a gigantic fish, who restored the Vedic literature to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleep, and who explained the essence of Vedic literature to King Satyavat and the great saintly persons. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is how Sukdev Goswami is explaining to Parikshit Maharaj. And let's just read this much. Are you there, Shiv Prabhu?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Want to read? No.
Yeah. Here is a summary of Satyavrat's meeting with the fish incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu's purpose was to take back all the Vedic literatures from the demon, Hayagriv, and restored them to Lord Brahma. Incidentally, by his causeless mercy, the Lord spoke with Satyavrata. The word Satyavratam is significant because it indicates that those on the level of Satyavrata can take knowledge from the Vedas delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever is spoken by the Supreme Lord is accepted as Veda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha?
As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Krita Vedavit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the compiler of all Vedic knowledge, and he knows the purport of the Vedas. Therefore, anyone who takes knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna or from Bhagavad Gita as it is, knows the purpose of the Vedas. Vedis cha sarvair aham eva vedayah. One cannot understand Vedic knowledge from the Vedavadatas who read the Vedas and misconstrue their subject matter. One has to know the Vedas from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So even in Matsya Avatar, Lord delivered the Vedas and the knowledge. And of course, this ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 8th canto, 24th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Matsya, the Lord's Fish Incarnation. And this also ends the 8th canto itself. Bolo Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
So this is really great. I think we'll start 9th canto from Monday. But before that, let's hear. Thank you for staying over. We'll hear the Kirtan for it's around 6 minutes. Yeah. So I just hear that Hare Krishna Kirtan and then we will pause. Yeah.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bolo Sri Radhe Govinda Bhagavan ki.
Jai.
Jai.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice kirtan. And so we completed the 8th iskan. I think we'll take break for next 2 days. Yeah. I'm also traveling tomorrow. तो हम लोग फिर वापस मिलेंगे next Monday. Yeah. Next Monday, 9:30 p.m. We'll start the new iskan. Thanks for staying over for some extra time. I think first time we said, okay, let's complete something. So we stayed over.
Yep.
Appreciate that. So
Good.
thank you so much. And then we'll see you on Monday at 9:30 p.m. And thank you, Rasik Shamravuri, for joining. We'll see you on Tuesday morning, India time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Jai.
Hare Krishna.